Jeremy Mahon here at the 4-Ounce Fight Club. How old are you?
29 years old.
And where are you from originally?
Houston, Texas.
Okay. And how did you get into mixed martial arts?
I got into mixed martial arts back in 2000, living in California. I was in the Marine Corps. My boss was a MMA fighter, and he kind of drugged me into it. Needed a sparring partner over in Japan, so I was delegated to do that.
So to begin with, there may be some similarities and crossover between what you learn in the Marine Corps and MMA. You know, they talk about 88 ways to kill a guy and all that.
You definitely keep the heart and the killer instinct.
And how or when did you get started doing MMA here in Houston?
I got started doing MMA here in Houston with Rocky Long over at Super Chongo and Revolution Dojo. That was about 3.5 years ago. I didn't even know that there was MMA going on here in Houston, and happened to see him at a bar, and you know, it just went from there.
And the sport's really picked up quite a lot here in Houston in the last few years. It's coming on pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just in the last year and a half, you know, there's been shows popping up everywhere. You know, we're able to travel all over Texas, Louisiana now. I mean, there's something going on every weekend if you're willing to fight.
And what would you consider your style to be?
Muay Thai and Vale Tudo.
So explain what Vale Tudo is.
Vale Tudo is just, you know, anything goes, whatever it takes to win a fight.
So what's the difference between that and street fighting? Pretty much the same thing, or?
No, nothing. You know, we're using technique. You know, those guys out there are just swinging windmills, and you know, we're utilizing clinch work, ground work, stand up. You know, we're putting everything together and just finishing fights with it.
So it's a mix of grappling and striking, and some of this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some of that carryover as well.
Yes, sir.
Because Vale Tudo is a Brazilian word, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
and Muay Thai, obviously from Thailand, great sport. They have some of the toughest guys. How'd you pick that up? How'd you get into that?
I picked that up. I started doing a little bit of kickboxing, and as soon as I saw the guys doing the Muay Thai over there, I said, hey, that's what I want to do. You know, elbows and knees. That's where it's at.
And did you ever do any amateur fighting? There's not a whole lot of amateur MMA fighting to be done, so you must have walked right into pro, or what?
Man, I was able to do some amateur Muay Thai and kickboxing. I had a 5-0 record at that, and then since then, you know, moved into MMA.
When did you turn to pro?
I turned pro about a year and a half ago.
Okay, and what's your pro record?
My pro record is 0-2 right now.
Okay.
Fight next month, and it's about to be 1-2.
So it's a tough gig out there. You know, as I was talking to you the other day, a lot of times what you have in boxing, you'll have guys padding their records. They'll fight a bunch of lesser opponents and make sure they get up to 10, 12, 15-0, and that doesn't seem to be the case so much in MMA. Guys just go out and fight whoever is put in front of them, and that's why you seem to have a lot fewer guys that end up at 15-0. If you get to 15-0 in MMA, you're really doing something.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, coming into MMA, I was a pure striker, and there's just no room for that anymore. You have to be well-rounded. My first pro fight was against our fighter, Daniel Pineda. That's actually how we met. He was a wrestler. The fight didn't even last a minute, you know, and I got a real quick respect for the ground. Since then, I've been taking the last year to just get my ground game up to par, so now I can stand and strike with anybody and go to the ground with anybody, too.
And so it's, you know, there's a lot of things to do, but I guess more importantly, a lot of things you have to protect against. You have to worry about strikes, and then you have to worry about the guy shooting on you, and all these different elements and you know, potential areas of attack. It's got to be, you know, kind of challenging to say the least.
You know, my philosophy on it is that the better your defense is, the more you can open up your offense. So the more I'm able to protect myself, the more I'm willing to just go out there and let it all out, and I'm not worried about getting caught in a submission or getting caught with a lucky strike, because I know my hands are up, I know on the ground I'm staying tight, and you know, we're not going to have any problems.
And now you got a club here, 4-Ounce Fight Club here on FM 1960, and you're pretty much about the only boxing gym and or MMA gym anywhere around here. Since I live around here, I know. How long have you been here, and how did this all come about?
We opened up about a year and a half ago. I've been training, like I said, way out in the woodlands and then across Houston, and it just got to the point, why don't we open something over here? So a group of us fighters all got together, you know, started designating trainers, and you know, brought everyone in, and you know, we got together, and that's how 4-Ounce came about. And you have your own brand of clothing and fight gear as well? Yeah, we got it's a 3,000 square foot facility. We got 1,000 square feet of mats. We got bags. We've got a full 20-foot octagon cage, and then we also got a pro shop selling all the top MMA brands, as well as our own brand, 4-ounce fight gear. Pick that up, 4-ounce fighter.
So it's kind of a full service operation you got going here. And tell us, do you know anything about who you're fighting coming up and where that's going to be and all that?
Yeah, I'm fighting a guy named Aaron Withrow. He's out of Dallas, I believe. The fight's up there in Dallas for the Supreme Warrior Championship.
And do you know anything about his style and how you're going to approach that?
I know he's 1-0. His style, he likes to stand up and then get the takedown and go for ground and pound. So he seems pretty well rounded too.
All right, well, good luck to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.